Did somebody catch the name of that band? How
I'm
we
still
doing?
shocked in that's not the tune. What's that noise? That whoosh sound.
Those are tanks. That actually is, I think, real.
You added that in?
No, I think that was part of the original recording.
And that's
Are we really going to talk about this every after show?
yeah, because it's the
like
intro.
15.
So you see it, so it's like top of mind as soon as we come on. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I have questions.
I want to ripcord this conversation into Numberline. What do you
all right, so Berkeley, night 2. They come out swinging with Olivia's Pool. And
That's a cool way to start a show.
I'm Team
Fun.
Shafty myself for that set of lyrics.
Okay, like 1-to-1, sure, but Olivia's Pool's a little more rare. I mean, not as much anymore, but I think it's a cool thing to catch. It bodes well for a fun night.
Oh, definitely. It says, hey, everybody who was crapping on us saying we aren't going to have a good second night, we're going to do Olivia's Pool. And then we're going to do
or
7 Below.
Tour, right?
I agree, Zook.
7 Below. What do we think? I saw my first 7 Below at Dick's in 21, I guess. I had never caught it, and I'm neither here nor there on it.
I'm a big fan of the song in general. I don't know if it was super well executed tonight. I mean, it sounded all right. I think that there's been some monster 7 Belows though in the band's history, and it's one of those songs that really has like an absolute shit ton of potential. So it's hard when they don't hit it like at that level. It kind of falls real flat. But
Right.
I don't know. I thought it was.
Wasn't there a Monster 1T at Halloween on the number night?
That was a great 7 Below. Yes, that was a very good example.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Jason doesn't like me being bottom center, but we're trying something different, man.
We're messing with you, Jason, because we're going to talk about that fake Tweezer reprise jam that you keep talking about.
Stay focused, Kev. You're in the driver's seat.
So Maze, well executed. They had a great shot in the video of Mike and Trey both looking over at Paige, watching him during the solo. And at one point, Paige shook his head no. Trey changed what he was doing, and then Paige like started headbanging. Like, this is so perfect. It was such a great shot.
Yeah, it's cool. Like awesome. A lot of times they have more subtle communication in their jams, but every once in a while you get the super obvious, like, don't do that shit. Yep, do that. It was I thought it was a great Maze, actually, really well executed. Yeah, well done.
So where are we on Mountains in the Mist?
I'm waiting for Tia. Do you have any opinion on that?
Are you waiting for me?
I felt bad because I had commented on every song, and then I throw it to you, and it's like, oh, that was a mistake.
I'm not there on it either.
You know, I don't know. I guess it's where it needs to go there. After a Maze, you gotta have a cooldown, so that's sort of where that's gonna go.
It's
and I'm neither
one,
here
though,
nor there.
like,
It's whatever. I've had, whatever.
I feel like if you're gonna have a slower song, though, Mountains in the Mist is a great one to get. Like, it's really beautiful, I think, and really fits that position well. And it doesn't really matter because I think from this point on, well, until the fourth quarter, they turned it up to 11 and had a really great end of the first set, and then it kept it going right into the second set. The gin, man, absolutely fantastic.
Can you do me a favor, you guys?
Yeah.
Send me the memo where it says that they have to do a cooldown song.
It's not they don't have to. What are you talking about? I'm just saying.
They do.
Every night we're like, yeah, that's the cooldown song.
Well, because it's always there. Because look at you have the statistics don't like the numbers don't lie. Right. It's always there.
Yeah, statistically, it is kind of always that idea of like, that goes back to like symphonic music stuff too, having the middle movement.
There's always at least one or two slow songs in the set. There just is because it's just in their category, and it's like.
So do we want to talk about the slow cooldown song, or do we want to talk about the fantastic gin?
We're talking about the fantastic gin that came out of the slow cooldown song because they had to cool it, like, and then it's like, all right, now let's rev it up and, like you said, hit it until.
Did we get a time on that one?
24 minutes on that gin.
Felt good.
Yeah.
Felt nice and lengthy there.
It was
good.
lots of spaces. I feel like they got back to some of the 1.0 2000 feel with that one, you know. Covered
Yeah.
lots of that same area to my ears.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. Really kind of turned the whole night around. I don't think it was a bad night by any means in the beginning. I think, the Seven Below was okay, and like we said, the minis was well done. But this made it feel like it was the same band that we saw last night, right? Because with that Tweezer Simple, it was just on a whole nother level. It was kind of like looking 22 behind and like, hey, here's 23. And then it was kind of back to like, basic standard Phish at the beginning. And then this gin was, oh, wow, they still, it's still there.
Well, there was a decent small jam in the Seven Below, like there usually is, but like it didn't get there, but you could feel it, but it wasn't quite reliving of last night, right? Like you were still looking for something, and then the gen kind of got you there. You're like, okay, now we're back in that gear. We can get back to that gear now. We found it. Like,
Yeah.
Here we go. They can kick it back in at some point, anytime, at any point now throughout this show, or we've hit it again. So,
yeah,
that's what was nice about getting that.
Right. And then when they landed it, some of that energy, I guess, spilled over into a really good 555 there, 555. No,
I agree. Yeah. I think it was an awesome 555.
Mike got to count it off.
I like seeing from this end, from the being in the passenger seat. It's fun. Yeah, no, that was a decent 555.
It's great. I always like that song, and Mike always just seems so happy singing it. And I don't know,
I think it's probably the most you're gonna get out of a 555.
Yeah, and it's in his range.
It is better, yeah,
closer.
I don't know how much of a range Mike really has, if we're being honest.
He has the range of the next song, Possum. That's his range. I mean,
And who doesn't love a good possum then? Or to start a set or anywhere in a set. I mean,
give me all the possums all the time. It's
so
just fun. It's a rock and roll rave up,
Yeah.
Great.
What more can you ask for? So, if you haven't, make sure that you like and subscribe. Ring the bell so you get notifications. If you're watching,
I was going to do the plug since I'm playing your role tonight. It's all right. No, you can do it.
Damn it, you threw me off there. Oh,
well, tomorrow we got the lot, so that's really the big one.
Right, what's going on with the lot?
Tomorrow? At 7:30 tomorrow, we're gonna hang out right here. We'll have some guests. We'll have some drinking games. We'll talk about the tour so far. We'll speculate about the Hollywood run coming up.
Right, because we're halfway through after tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Any guests we can mention, or
no, man? Would you just let it go?
He's driving. He's excited.
No, but what's cool is like if you've been with the channel for a while, that's how we got started. That's how this whole thing got started, was with the lot. So I'm really excited to have what we can say. We're having Chad back. And so that we're kind of like going OG with it. It's gonna be fun. So make sure you tune in 7:30 tomorrow. All right, go on, Kev. Get us into the second set.
The second
what was
set,
that?
Yes. So the weird thing about the second set was that they opened up with "Don't Doubt Me," which I think every other time has been in the middle of a set somewhere. It's been like out of another song. They kind of stumbled into it. So it was neat to hear an intro to it.
What was the time on that one? Because I felt that I got kind of lost in a good way in that jam. It kind of got.
It came in
all
at
right.
11.
It was I think it was a stout 11 though, because it got a little dark, a little bleepy and bloopy.
Had some girth.
Yeah, it was really a really beautiful, kind of pretty, funky jam, and 11's not like super long compared to these other ones, but it was enough to like pull you out of it and get you into this really cool space and set the second set up really well. I'll be honest, I loved the start of this second set, like really, really liked it. All the way through Fuego, I thought. So I mean, I guess it's "Don't Doubt Me, Kill Devil Falls in Fuego." I thought it was just top-notch Phish. And I thought Don't Doubt Me was a great way to start the set.
Go ahead, T. You got anything to add?
I just like hearing Tim. He was excited about
He
it.
was
Even
into it.
All right,
in the
well,
chat,
I mean,
in our thread, it was
All right.
let's
I-
talk about that Fuego though, because
Whoa,
everybody.
whoa.
All right.
I wanted to say about the Don't Doubt Me, I think it was probably the longest one they've ever did. And they got into a second like jam where it should have ended. They pushed it like they've been doing with the ending out there a little bit. And I'm with you that you kind of got lost in it for a minute there.
Yeah, totally.
Very interesting. And the same thing with Kill Devil Falls, which second slot in the second set, a rocker like that, that's all you can ask for.
And it
Yeah, well,
always
Kill Devil
rocks.
Falls
Like it
is
always rips.
Yeah, and it's also a sneaky jam vehicle. It's not one that like you ask like average Phish fan like, hey, what the jam vehicle is? It's like Tweezer Down with the Z's, right? But like Kill Devil Falls has a lot of great type 2 jams that come out of it, a lot of epic type 1 jams that come out of it, and it's sneaky like that. But
It has
I
a strong pedigree.
well, and I feel like they throw it in there sometimes when they're trying to ensure a jammed out section of
Rocker.
a set, right? Like, because it has that potential. I think actually fairly easily they can take that one out. Whereas some other songs, it's harder. You have to really kind of work to get it, out for a walk. I think you can do that with Kill Devil Falls really well. And I thought it was epic, honestly. Like, I really liked that jam.
It doesn't get as much play, but it always reminds me a lot of like 46 Days. It's that kind of song. It doesn't pop up as much as 46 Days tends to, but it's in that vein of like it can always as soon as it comes on, you're gonna get, even if it's 8 minutes, 12 minutes, 14 minutes, you're gonna have a solid sweet jam in there and probably explore.
And
some
we got
pretty cool
14
areas
tonight out of it.
So
yeah, and I agree with you 100%, T. That's exactly that like category of song. They go perfect together. They're gonna get jammed out. They're gonna rock, but it's not necessarily like you're not gonna get a 44. Well, you might actually.
You might,
you might.
but you know what you're
never
gonna get
know.
all the way through it. Whatever you're getting, it's gonna be a pretty solid.
Yeah.
jam,
Can
and
we finally
sometimes
talk about
get
this
even
Fuego?
bigger.
Yes, the best 33 minutes of the night, maybe the Fuego Light, or were you just going with Fuego as being the star?
I mean, the whole jam and the segue into Light was great, and Light is awesome, but just Fuego as a song, never mind the jam, was executed so perfectly, and it had that angst to it, that like young energy. It was ripping. Phish was on fire. He was just locked in on those drum parts. I was already sold on it before they even got into the jam. I was like, this shit has such great energy, and it just locked in so well. And then to have a really good jam tied to a really well executed version of the song, I thought, I don't know. You know what's cool is that we get to go do all this like fluffing and standing now, and then I'm just gonna completely rip a new a-hole into this show in the fourth quarter. But this Fuego was hot.
I agree. Fuego is always so fun. Like it's such a fun song, and when it goes hard and when it goes certain places, it makes it even better, and it makes it that much more fun. But it's such a great, especially like in the right place, when it's placed in the right spot in the set with what's around it and why it's where it is. It sometimes when it fits perfectly, it's such a great.
And you're blissed out of your skull going, oh,
yeah, exactly. You're just
perfect.
in it, you're having so much fun. Yeah. And coming out of, Kill Devil Falls and into that, it's kind of like you just kind of keep that high going, which is what you want. You kind of always want to just sort of ride that peak as long as you can. So, yeah, it was great.
Phish from the Road thought that it was Ruby Waves. They
really?
tweeted Ruby Waves and then 1 second later tweeted Fuego and deleted the Ruby Waves. So toward the end of Fuego, did you guys catch Mike singing something? And if you did you catch what he was singing? Because I couldn't make out what he was saying.
I did not.
No.
There was a vocal spot, maybe like 18 minutes into the Fuego, if it's 21, like it says. And then they went back into a little atmospheric thing and dropped into Light, which I think was a great segue. I think they really, they got that.
I don't know if I loved that segue. I mean, it was good, but like,
I didn't like the song choice. I was like, really? But I mean, at least getting there, they opened the door for me, even though I didn't want to walk in.
Yeah. I don't know. Light stuck and has gone down for me. I used to just, obsess over that song. I loved it so much, but I don't know. It was an okay segue. I think they had better segues earlier in the night and yesterday, but yeah, it was all right. It was good.
They didn't butcher it though.
No, they didn't butcher
No,
it. I mean,
they
it
didn't
was
butcher it.
passable. It was better than most bands could do, right? That's the other the context of all this shit is like we're like being hypercritical.
Do you feel
of,
that
like,
Light?
the best
Do
musicians?
you feel like Light doesn't live up to its potential anymore? Is that why you're off it, or you're just moved on in life from it?
I don't think they've done enough creatively with it. They kind of have in their mind, in my opinion, this is just but like there's
On
like,
paper, it
oh,
looks
this is
good.
the Light Jam with the building and and like it's just canned. It's like the canned light. It's like a canned light, and I don't know. It's like, okay, the first time you see it, that's really dope. Like, but you see it a couple times, do something different with it. Take it in a different direction or don't. I mean, or leave it, right? Like,
Or get dark with it.
right. Well, the other thing too is like not everybody sees and watches it. Like we watch every freaking night, right? Like other people
Yeah.
catch one show a year and they want that, canned light, and great. Like that's fine. I'm happy with all the other shit, but for me, it's kind of lost its luster a little bit. But
And
I
then
don't
I
care
think
because
a
the Fuego
really
is
good
dope.
one
So.
in 21 in Chula. Wasn't there one? Wasn't there a really good light that night?
21 there was, yeah.
Chula, yeah, in
22, I
San
think there
Diego.
was back to it being stagnant mess.
But the question is,
sort
what
of-
have you done for me lately?
Right. Right.
And after Light, for me, the rest of the night kind of fizzled out. So who wants
Fourth
to
quarter.
jump in on the lonely trip and work through it?
I was still feeling pretty high, like emotionally, not chemically, from the first half of the set. So I was okay with the placement of Lonely Trip. It's kind of, has this like plucky, loosey goosey feel to it, and like I don't mind it. Right? It is kind of whatever. And if that had been like the pause, the breather, and then they raged their way out, no qualms. The problem is that after a kind of cool little funky howling, they just completely fizzled out. And I guess let's talk about it all together because we're going to jump around a little bit. But I'm talking about the Farmhouse and Numberline.
I think Lonely Trip, like you said, would have been all right in and of itself. Or Farmhouse would have been all right in and of itself as the cool down song.
Or the Numberline would have been okay if it was ice. Nah.
Well, the Numberline's the right. I got the Numberline, the kudos that they get from me on that is they completely stopped after Farmhouse and did the intro that they broke out last summer, I guess, at Deer Creek or last spring or somewhere when they opened the set with it. But the Lonely Trip, okay, and then the Howling, I was like, that's weird. We get two sci-fi songs in one set. But
yeah, that was
Howling,
weird.
though.
That was weird. I love it. It's like I told you, like our Foodie Kits. I have a new love for that song because of that too. But it's also fun and funky and a get down song, which I love. But it's weird getting two of those in one set is strange, and that placement. Like what we were saying with where Fuego goes and how it lands, sometimes that placement was very strange, especially coming out of like Lonely. Like it was one of those like lows, highs, but with weird songs that were weird ones to put in lows and highs position in those positions before it ended the set. So I don't know. It's very strange. And I don't mind Lonely Trip. It's fun. I think it's I don't know, it's one of those I can handle that sort of cheesy slow down the tray.
It so reminds me of this Clarence Carter song called Slip Away. And I hear it and I'm just like, I think Trey's gonna be like, slip away, and he's like Lonely Trip, and I'm like, no,
only you you
slip
man.
away, man, come on.
But I think it, and then coming out there, you're like, all right, cool. Now the next three songs should rip, right? Like, let's end this on a high note.
Well, one huge one where it was like a disease for 25 minutes.
Right. So it was weird to go into the Howling and then into Farmhouse after that and not really have anything. And then you knew there was one song on Numberline. Numberline made sense
Numberline.
there, like whatever.
Yeah, it's always a closer. Or close
Yeah,
to the
and
end.
I'm glad they did it, so I don't get it at the bowl. That was fantastic. I was so happy for
They
that.
were tight on the
Crossing songs
curfew
off
and
everywhere.
really well calculated with the Berkeley
Timing was
curfew.
excellent, right? Like,
So I'm wondering if the calculus of like they went into the Howling Jam, which was really cool. Mike was really leading that, and then they saw the clock and they're like, "All right, I
Ooh.
got this much time left. What can I fit in and give an appropriate landing?" zone
Farmhouse.
that-" Right, and then it was like one of those things, like, "Oh
Oh.
shit, the only thing I can think of is Farmhouse. I guess we're playing Farmhouse."
Right.
You
And
know, like-
then I wasted 5 minutes. Now I only got 10 minutes left. Fuck it, Numberline. We're out of
Right.
here.
Oh, we got to do Numberline. We need something peppy and major to get us out of here.
And then Zero as the encore kind of felt like an afterthought to me. Like, I don't know.
Well, again, it was
felt like-
timed out. It was planned backstage. They're like, all right, what fits in 8 minutes or whatever that we can just nail with no problem and not
Where
have to
was
think
a Life
about.
Beyond a Dream or something that's an 8-minute tune? You could have crossed that one off your list.
Seriously. No, he's saving some of those epic ones for the bowl where he's
Oh, you're
like,
gonna get a
looking
Beneath the Stars or
on
a Drip While You're
stage and
Sleeping.
like,
Yeah.
exactly.
You know what's weird about this run? It's a 3-night run, which is typically a weekend setup. Because I was thinking of it as like a Saturday show, because that's like the slot. But it's a Tuesday, which is usually a
Right.
start, and it's also usually a very small, intimate thing. I don't know if that at this point in their career like really has an effect, but it almost does in like the way I watch it and like process it, because I felt like this was kind of an okay Saturday going into an epic Sunday type thing, but it was a weird like midweek late West Coast type
Tuesday
show.
going into a Wednesday.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I've
So anything you thinking tomorrow? Last night at the Greek, anything you think they're gonna jump out with? I'm calling a Mike's Groove. Whole thing, get your hydrogen.
yeah, I don't know.
Probably. I could see that.
I mean, there's a lot left on the table. Maybe a Slave to the Traffic Light. I heard traffic around there.
Or another Cities. That'd be
Ooh,
dope.
Cities, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if there's anything, like how they gave Isabel and Hendrix in Seattle. There's something Berkeley and related
Right.
that they'll
And
play
yeah,
tomorrow.
Mike's Groove would be good.
And yes to this, I think it's going to be a Sleeping Monkey Tweezer reprise. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm making it up as I go along.
I thought you said that the Tweet Prize was at the end of the 44-minute jam.
No, I didn't say that. Jason said that. Jason, who
But it
made
wasn't
the
an
theme music
actual
for-
Sweet Prize. It was just
he went through it with me today, and he explained all the key changes and how it went into the key it was supposed to be a tweet
I bet
prize.
you glazed the fuck over. You were like,
cool.
cool.
I would love to see this. I think this has a good chance.
Right.
Maybe.
You know what I'm looking forward to? Another after show. We can do this all over again tomorrow
Yay.
night. Kev, you gonna bring us out? Or you want me to do it?
Hey, like, subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow. Lot before, recap after.
Good job,
Good
Kev.
driving, Kev. Good job.
You got us home safe. See you guys.